Hey Scorpio, it's Erica with Sweet Tea Astrology and Tarot, and this is your full moon lunar eclipse forecast for the second half of August. Alright, before I get started with your astrology, I have a couple of announcements. I'll have all of this time stamped. I hope you stick it out with me, but if not, I understand. I want to say welcome, wow, and hi. Thank you to all of the new viewers and subscribers that have found this channel in the last month. You're really blowing me away. I had no idea when I made this channel that it would be this big. Wow. Thank you. I'm so excited that you're here. We will be undergoing a rare eclipse season. We will be having 3 eclipses. We're normally used to them coming in pairs, so this is a standout eclipse season in itself. Eclipse season is known as the thinning of the veil, and it basically is a way for the universe to put you back on the path that you should have been on, that you may have wandered off of. Depending on how far away from that path you've strayed is going to be how traumatic this eclipse feels for you. The impacts can last up to 6 months, but it really depends on the event that triggers this. For example, my little behind was snapped back to the path that I'm on now. After the blood moon eclipse in October 2014, 2 days after that, my house caught on fire due to negligence of my neighbor, and the wind just happened to be blowing in my direction. My fire alarms failed. It was in the middle of the night. It was literally every human being's worst nightmare and the scariest shit imaginable. I ran in and out of that house twice. Yeah. I have PTSD from it, so to say that 6 months is all that it's going to impact you isn't necessarily the case, nor the truth. It really depends on each individual circumstance, and I'm trying to help break that stigma a little bit. So, the last eclipse that we had was in March. It was March 23rd, 2016, and it was at 3 degrees of Libra. This will be a prenumbral lunar eclipse that we will be having. That's where the sun, moon, and earth are aligned in almost a straight line. This eclipse is occurring at 25 degrees Aquarius, which is a fixed air sign. The air sign, or the fixed signs, are known for being goal-oriented or determined, or on the not-so-precious side, inflexible and stubborn. I looked up the word fixed, and it comes from the Latin word fixus, which means to latch onto or to fasten. The 25 degree Sabian symbol for Aquarius reads, a butterfly with the right wing more perfectly formed. Sabian symbols were created in 1925 by a clairvoyant named Elsie Wheeler, and they're used to symbolize 0 to 30 degrees of each of the zodiac signs through the astrological wheel. So, it wasn't so bad, was it? Alright, thank you for sticking it out with me through the introduction. I appreciate all of the new views and new subscriptions. Y'all are awesome and really making my heart so full of gratitude. I hope that you continue to enjoy, and if you've been here for a while, thanks for coming back and sitting a spell. I'm going to transition over to the astrology now to tell you what's going on in the sky for you for the second half of August, so sit tight and I'll be right back, Scorpio. Hey Scorpio, this is the astrology portion of your reading. On the 18th, we will be experiencing a full moon lunar eclipse at 25 degrees of Aquarius. This will be occurring in your 4th house, Scorpio. The 4th house is ruled by Cancer, and it represents home and family. Home is where you live or where you consider home to be, and family is your immediate family, including children and or fur babies, or possibly roommates if you aren't married or have children. Could also speak to your parents, mother, father energy, or people who you consider to be parents. Can also represent your roots and foundation. So that's a lot of energy to be undergoing for a full moon lunar eclipse. If it is dealing with your house, I see it dealing with like air and water, like a storm. Because it's a full moon lunar eclipse in air, and it's your 4th house, which is ruled by Cancer. If it's your family, it's probably dealing with a female. On the 21st, we have a pretty strong energy day for you. It's the moon in Aries conjunct Uranus and Eris in your 6th house. I will have a video linked in the description below speaking about Uranus and Eris and what those two energies can bring. But basically the word conjunct means an amplification of the energies that are already present. So we would have an amplified response because of the moon. The moon represents response or feeling. The planet Uranus represents shocks and surprises or changes, liberation and rebellion. And Eris is best thought of as Xena, warrior princess. All of this occurring in a very fierce, forceful, courageous, and impulsive sign of Aries in your 6th house, which is ruled by Virgo, which is the house of work and health, or the skills and competency that you bring to the services that you provide. So you'll have a strong reaction dealing with work or health around the 21st. And it will probably be in response to what has occurred on the 18th with this lunar eclipse. The very next day, we have the sun moving into Virgo. The sun is your life force, your self-expression, your will, your assertion. The 11th house is ruled by Aquarius, and that is where this full moon is occurring. So this may be illuminating on the other side. It's occurring in your 11th house. The 11th house is the house of goals, wishes, future dreams. It also represents friends, groups, memberships, and associations that you may be a part of. Also concerns the internet. So there's that. I'm a Scorpio riser, so for me personally, I see this playing out as a strong response either over the internet with my family, or a strong response in dealing with this YouTube channel or Twitter account or something like that. It may work out like that for you, but it may not. Who knows? On the 24th is another strong energy day. So the 18th we have the eclipse, the 21st we have a strong energy day, and the 24th we have a strong energy day. So like within a week span time, we have like a lot of pow, 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 one right after the other, very strong energy. The 24th we have Saturn and Mars having a conjunction at 9 degrees of Sagittarius. This is your 2nd house. A conjunction, once again, is the amplification of the energies that are already present. So it would be an amplified Mars and Saturn. Mars represents energy, impulse, and aggression. Saturn represents limitation, structure, and containment. This going conjunct on 9 degrees of Sagittarius is on top of the fixed star Taurus, which is a malevolent fixed star. I'll have another video posted down below dealing with an Taurus vlog and how it was dealing, a situation manifested very closely in my circle with Taurus energy pretty prominent at the head. So just more information to empower you and enlighten your path. The 2nd house is ruled by Taurus. It is a house of self-esteem, earning ability, money, and possessions. So you might have some aggressive growth, or you might have some aggressive, like having to put the brakes on the spending. Either way, who knows? It really depends, because aspects hit us all in our own personalized birth charts. Each one of us has our own individual birth chart, and no other soul on the planet will ever have one that is just like ours. So you are uniquely you little snowflake, whether you like it or not. On the 29th, we have Venus moving into Libra, and that is like her vacation home. Venus rules Taurus and Libra. This is your 12th house, Scorpio, and that is ruled by Pisces. It is the house that represents secret enemies, self-undoing, karma, limitations, repressions. It's also the house that it's secrets that you keep from yourself, and also sleep and dreams. So you may be getting, you may be having some really nice dreams. You may be having some karma play out in a loving or harmonious way for you. You'll have to comment down below. I'm excited to see what happens, because like I say, I'm a Scorpio riser. On the 30th, we have Mercury going retrograde at 29 degrees of Virgo. This will be occurring in your 11th house. Mercury is the planet of thought, communication, and movement. The 11th house is ruled by Aquarius, where this full moon lunar eclipse is occurring. And it speaks to future wishes, goals, bucket list type energy. Also groups, memberships, and associations that you may be a part of, and friendships are covered under this house as well. It can also speak to the internet and dealing with Mercury and communication, this being the internet house. I see this more and more as dealing with an argument on the internet. Could be dealing with an argument with friends or an argument with I'm so sorry. Louisiana, we got some loud trucks, and it sounds like one of them redneck boys is just driving through. So, yeah. Seems like there's an argument that is going to play out. And I say an argument because of the worker health. If it's not an argument, then you're probably feeling ill you may be feeling sick. You may be feeling sick because you've got that that's a heated, you may be running fever around the 24th. I don't want to put that out there, but I'd like to prepare you. So anti-backup, get your vitamin C on, the whole nine. I mean, school is just about to be starting or has started. So then the first 2-3 weeks of school, people all have that little sniffle cold stuff because everybody's back around and germs are rampant and all that stuff. You know what I mean. Alright, Scorpio, that's what I see for you in the astrology. I'm going to transition over to the tarot to try to bring forth more messages for you. I'm going to pull the normal spread that I will pull for you. I've had a lot of extra cards fall for this eclipse series. If any cards fall, I've had like over 10 cards fall. If that's the case, I can't read that many. That would just take way too long. But if it's 2 or 3, I will do that. Just trying to enlighten your path and empower you with the information so you have a heads up and know what's going on. So, please, Scorpio, hang tight. I'll be right back with my cards. Thank you, y'all. Hey, Scorpio brothers and sisters, I'm back. I've been shuffling and meditating over the cards, asking for the general messages for my Scorpio brothers and sisters for this full moon lunar eclipse in August. Just a little piece of synchronicity that I figured you might like to hear about. When I paused the video, it was at exactly 12:12, and you're having Venus move into your 12th house of Libra. So that might mean something to you. It might ring true. You might have some beautiful dreams after the 29th, or it might be a very karmic time. You may be getting information about a parent's health. Okay. Gonna cut. The bottom card for the underlying theme or the overarching energy, and the top 3 for clarity. Also going to pull a healing and meditation oracle card for you. Okay. You had 2 pop out. Now, for your Sacred Rebels Oracle card from the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck. This deck is by Elena Fairchild, and the artwork is done by Autumn Sky Morrison. There were two that kind of stuck together and were hanging out off the side that y'all couldn't see. Oh my goodness. Alright. Y'all have got a oracle card that has popped several times for this eclipse series. Let me write the numbers. Okay. The first card you got, or the bottom card, the underlying theme or the overarching energy, however you choose to see it, was the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is usually the message or messenger of hope, dealing with emotions or a relationship that matters a great deal to you. I see this being a faster paced technological message, dealing like text or Facebook Messenger, direct message, Snapchat, that sort of thing. The cups represent water sign energy. The water signs are Cancer, you, Scorpio, and Pisces. This does not have to be you. It can be someone around you, or it can be their moon or rising sign. So any of that can be the case. This is also possibly dealing with somebody who has some strong air energy with them because of the wings that are here as well. It's making me think of Mercury as well. And this isn't associated with your 11th house, but Mercury is in your 11th house, and that is dealing with an Aquarian ruled house. That is the Aquarius ruled house, dealing with friends and groups, memberships, associations, future wishes, goals, and dreams, bucket list type energy. So you may get a message from somebody under that house representation. The first card in the top three for clarity is the Eight of Wands in reverse, and this for me represents either on the upright or the reverse, just a lot of heated messaging going back and forth. It could be miscommunication as well, because you can't see where it was thrown from or where it's landing, so you aren't seeing eye to eye, and they aren't seeing eye to eye with you as well. The background color is blue, which is highly emotional. The fact that it's reversed means that this is not a grounded situation, which definitely seems to be the case. 8 speaks to the Scorpio ruled house of life, death, rebirth, sexuality, primal or basic instinct, regeneration, transformation, metamorphosis, and other people's money. So that's a pretty broad house to be having these kind of this kind of back and forth unbalanced energy messaging going back and forth. The card that fell out was the Page of Wands in reverse, and I feel like this is dealing with the energy in your, it's either your 6th house or your 2nd house, because the wands once again represent fire sign energy. Fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. You're having strong energy in Aries, and you're having strong energy in Sagittarius. So this could be one of those this could speak to one of those situations or both of those houses. It just depends. I'm reading for a lot of people, so it's difficult to give that exact information. But this Page of Wands is looking towards the Knight of Wands in reverse and has his back towards the Knight of Cups. So whatever's going on, it's impulsive, and this person isn't paying attention to the logic of the situation. They are caught up in their emotions. If it, like I said, if it's not you, it could be this fire sign energy. But it brings out the Page of Cups in you. The Page of Cups is a slower moving messenger. This is face-to-face, over landline communications, faxes, older, slower means of communication, handwritten snail mail, that sort of thing, or hearing it through the grapevine. The Page of Cups is younger. The page is younger, not just the Page of Cups, but the pages are younger. It's teenagers to mid-20s at the latest. The Knights are late 20s to mid-30s. I see the King and Queen as at the very earliest late 30s, more like early 40s, but yeah. This Page of Cups is emotional and not able to see the logic of the situation either, or bring balance to the situation. You can feel very much like you're head over feet. There's a lot of characters that are, it's like the rug has been pulled from underneath of them. And because of the argument, because of the misunderstanding, because of the miscommunication, you now are looking at all of the things that you had once counted on, but they're now either evaporating or gone. I also like to look at this card as the don't count your chickens before your eggs hatch card. Background card color is blue. You've got 4 cards that are background color blue. Very emotional. You've got 4th house energy. That can be very emotional. Also dealing with water. The Cups dealing with water sign energy. Cancer, you Scorpio, and Pisces. Does not have to be that. Can be their sun or their moon or rising. Depends on their chart. This gray cloud means that there is some silver lining to the situation and you need to dig for it. The fact that you've got the Page of Wands means that you do have tools available to find it. It may be harder to find than it would be if you had swords, but it's still a tool that you are capable of digging for the silver lining in the situation. I really feel like this argument, this disagreement, this miscommunication is playing out in the 6th house energy because of the numerology of the overall spread. It broke down to, you only had 2 cards with numbers on them. You had the 8 of Wands and you had the 7 of Cups. 8 plus 7 is 15. 1 plus 5 is 6. The 6th house is ruled by Virgo, which is experiencing Mercury shadow now, and it will soon be going Mercury retrograde at the end of the month. But the 6th house represents work and health, the competency and skill that you bring to the services that you provide. So I feel like this is going to ring very strongly for you in that work and health area. It could be that this entire situation of being either misrepresented, there being miscommunication, misunderstood, where you both end up acting childish. I say you because there's a Page of Cups and there's a Page of Wands, so it seems like it's you and this Page of Wands arguing. And it seems like whatever comes of it, you feel like whatever you thought you had with him is now called into question. And this guy has his back turned on the entirety of the spread, and it's like, I'm moving on. Could be the case. Okay. This is awesome. You got 2 healing and meditation oracle cards. The first was Joy. Joy reads, one of the most important purposes of meditation is to create a state of joy in the individuals who practice it. There are many paths to this goal, but the starting point of all is to be receptive to beneficial moral influences. Consider the following, Scorpio. I will purge myself of bad thoughts and habits, such as selfishness and greed. I will show compassion for those who are suffering. The happiness of others is a source of pleasure to me. I show gratitude for all the good things in my life. It doesn't take a whole lot to think about what you are thankful for and embracing the joy just from what you have. Listening. Okay. I've done debate for a few years in college, and as somebody who has played in the communication arts, listening is not just waiting for your turn to speak. It is actually hearing what the person says, digesting what they say, thinking about your response and what they say, and then responding. So, there are a lot of people who have forgotten the art of listening. I'm not being accusatory, Scorpio. I'm saying that there are a lot of people in the world who instantaneously react because they feel as though as the other person has stopped talking, it is now my turn to speak. And there's not a whole lot of active listening going on. Consider. People in failing relationships often complain about their partner's unwillingness to listen. To achieve greater harmony, keep your ears and mind open to the needs and desires of others. You can enhance this ability through meditation. The listening meditation can be particularly helpful at times of crises in personal relationships. The more frequent the practice, it may help to prevent such crises from arising in the first place. Ponder this, Scorpio. At times of tension and conflict, let me remain quiet and thoughtful. I will listen with an open mind to the worries and fears of those who I love. I will devise remedies for the troubles of others rather than giving precedence to my own concerns. I take pleasure from offering sympathy and support to people in need. Empathy is rarely valued and underemployed in our advanced society today. The first Sacred Rebel Oracle card that you got, and this has made its appearance more than once in this eclipse series, is Releasing Allegiances. For the first, she is covered in bees. So if you're wanting some girl power empowerment, listen to some Beyonce. Just straight off the bat. Pardon me. Releasing allegiances means just that. Dropping them as though they are old rusted chains and you are no longer bound to another by a situation or even an oath or a vow. If you have outgrown the situation, then it's not time for you to be there anymore. It's time for you to be where you are supposed to be. Eclipses shine the light on the path of where you need to be. She's employed her self-care and her self-love during this very sensitive time that we're all going through. She is honest and authentic in her approach. Trusting in her struggle and her path. She's got her own back. Nobody else is there. And the second card, which I feel really confirms and validates whatever it is that you're dealing with right now, trust yourself. This is the second time that this card has popped for me and me playing with this Oracle card deck for quite some time. Trust yourself is the 31st card. The 31st card reduces to 3 + 1 is 4. You are having this full moon lunar eclipse in your 4th house, which is ruled by Cancer. It speaks to home and family. Trust yourself. You have an inner wisdom that has been placed there by intelligent creative design, and it is there for you to follow. And more often than not, we shut that little voice down and we argue with it and we mute it. Little known secret. About 2 weeks before the house fire, I had an epiphany while driving down the road. I had heard a car insurance commercial and they were talking about renter's insurance, and I was like, I need to get some renter's insurance. I never followed through with that, and I should have. I should have trusted that moment of clarity, but I didn't, and I still suffer the consequences from that choice to this day. So trust yourself. Understand that still small voice at the back of your head, that gut feeling that you cannot get over at this point because things are just too apparent. Trust that. It's trying to tell you something. It's trying to show you something. Let's see what the book says. This is a time for self-love, for paying attention to yourself, for nurturing, holding, and being with you. It doesn't mean you can't love another. It just means that you need to turn your attention inwards for a time, for some quality time with you and you alone. You will emerge renewed, refreshed, and clearer about your journey and your relationships as a result of this. This oracle comes with a particular guidance. There's a situation that has recently arisen or will arise soon where you will need to back yourself. Stand your ground and stay aligned with what you know to be true. No matter how wonderful something seems logically or on the surface, if it doesn't feel right for you, it's not for you at this time. Perhaps that will change and it will be right for you later. Perhaps you will step away and realize with relief that you had a lucky escape from a situation that would have ended up unnecessarily costing you. Either way, backing yourself and not giving in to the opinion of another, no matter how highly you would have rated that opinion in the past, is important. It is highly likely that you are breaking with tradition, with a role model or a belief system that you have outgrown. You must be there for yourself because you are doing well, you are on the right path, and you are growing. Well done, Scorpio. The second card was Trust Yourself. You are wise. You know how to grow even without knowing how you know. This oracle brings a message that you are growing. You really are, so don't even doubt it. Even if you don't see it yet, remember that so much is happening when the seed is still unbroken and in the ground. Below the earth, it is summoning up all the might and power and force it needs to push above the topsoil and burst up into the light. It is essential for any good to happen later on. Yet we don't see any of that. We just have to trust that things will happen when the time is right. So you are being asked to trust in yourself. You know how to grow. Don't overthink things. It won't help you. Don't worry so much. You are doing a great job in this game of life. When you trust yourself, you relax and you heed your own wisdom, insight, and the messages come more clearly and easily. This oracle comes with a particular guidance. You have a big destiny in this lifetime and much to experience. Sometimes you make the error of judging something that is unpleasant as negative or a mistake. But it isn't. It's just a part of your hunger for experience. And that doesn't mean you have to have a lot of it, but when you do, don't shame yourself because of it. Simply let it be. Maybe it's just fertilizer for your next step on the new path. It's all a part of the life process, and it's all a signal of your growth. This oracle is also telling you not to resist any points of instability in your life. That instability is just a growing pain, because more consciousness, more love, and more light wants to infiltrate and pervade all parts of your life. The instability is not a sign of sickness, but of growth, so don't fret. Instead, choose to flow and grow. Oh, I think that's gorgeous for this full moon lunar eclipse message, y'all. I hope that it enlightened you and empowered you. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe. If you already have, I appreciate it more than you know. To all of the new viewers and subscribers, thank you so much for being here. And if you've been here a while, once again, thank you for staying and sitting a spell and listening to me ramble about astrology and tarot and how this might be playing out in your world. You are validating and confirming my path with each and every series. Thank you so much. I'll be around for the September eclipses and lunations. Please take care of yourself. Please be kind to yourself. Employ your self-care and self-love measures and try to save a little bit for the people around you, because we're all feeling very sensitive right now. I wish you nothing but the best, Scorpio, and I hope all good things for you. Until September, take care of yourself, and namaste, y'all.